Okay, what is up? It's 9:09. Look at that. One after 9:09. We're the one after 9:09. So sorry about the 9 minutes tardiness. I just came in from Florida. The plane was delayed and we just got in. I swear to God, I came in and went to the bathroom and jumped on this live stream. So thanks everybody for joining. And I will wait for this to chalk up full of humanoids, and then we will carry on as we always do on Sunday evenings. So I'm gonna wait for this thing to chalk up and see if people are there. You guys need to know that I'm on every Wednesday and every Wednesday, every Sunday at 9 o'clock p.m. And so I'm going to sit here and wait. I got one motherfucker. Who's the one person, man? Oh, there you go. I've got two. Hey, Steve. Got Steve Burdick. I went to school with a birdie, we called him. Tom Clark. What's up, Tom? All right. Romad 008 is here. Me, Stephen Burdick. Birdie. We went to school together. Yo from Toronto. What's up? Hey, I'm here. Wes in the house. All right. Daniel in the house. Peace. Yeah, so man, okay, I just got back from Florida and it was rainy the whole damn time. We had like one day of sunlight, or of sunshine rather. But Florida's still nice, man. You get to Florida and it's just like decompression. It is, however, a muggy mofo down there, big time. It's tough. How's it, Mikey? Aloha from the Big Island, brada. Aloha, tribe. Aloha, brada. Glad you're here, Dan. I'm hoping to get some Fisher & Fisher 570s this spring. What do you think the shipping will be to Oregon? $500, $600, something like that. Well, probably I'll work it in on the deal. You get with me and the shipping is going to be included in on the deal. Don't worry. I take care of all my peeps. Everybody gets taken care of. Kent Bainan. Good evening, Mikey. Good evening, Kent. How are you? Where did I go in Florida? I go to different places, but this time was Amelia Island, which is I don't know if any of y'all have been there, but it's really a nice place. It's a whole. What I really like is the wetlands. The what do you call them? Like the river comes in and there's like estuaries there, and it's beautiful. The birds there are freaking amazing. We saw pink flamingos and storks and herons and gulls and just all sorts of these cool birds. Super awesome. We did another interesting thing too, is we took some time to go to a plantation, an actual plantation where there were slaves, and to learn more about how that works. Last year we went to a cotton field and tried picking cotton because I just wanted to see. Let me familiarize myself a little bit more with. Let me educate myself, really, and not just go by, whatever shit's on the news, whatever political bullshit is being said on the news. Let me actually go learn about it. And I learned some very interesting things this weekend because I started asking questions. Where did slaves come from? How did we, it's not we, but Americans, it was really British. How did the people, how did they get slaves? Did they go over there and land a boat and jump out and run around and round them up and bring them back? No, they actually didn't. They bought them. They bought them from the African slave trade, the elite Africans, which would enslave the other Africans, which were a lot of times captured during wars between tribes. if the victors would round up the POWs and then sell them, and sell them to the British, and the British would bring them over to the United States. So it's really pretty wild. The plantation that we were on, the guy who was the plantation owner bought a slave. She was 13 years old. He bought her in Cuba, and she came from Spain, African woman from Spain. Well, she was a girl. And then she was his mistress. Horrible, and then became his, like, the head of all the slaves. So she was a slave herself that became the slave boss, if you will. And at 18, he set her free, which really doesn't mean set free. It means you can live here on, as long as you do what I say and you don't have to work, right? You just, you boss the slaves. So it was, she owned 10 slaves. So she was an original slave that then became a slave owner. It's really interesting. The coolest part, my best takeaway from learning about it was that it's not a black-white thing. It's not a black-white thing. It's a class thing. It's like there's lower class that are slaves, and then there were upper class that were not slaves. And but it's never been about a black and white thing. Until it was politically twisted and shit like that turned into something different. I thought, like, whites invented slavery, and like we went there. We, again, why did I say we? I'm fucking Hispanic. The British went there and, like, rounded them up. It was a lot different than I expected. Let's put it that way. Very interesting, though. But I'm glad to know that it's not a black-white thing. That black-white thing is bullshit fucking politics. So excuse me. Clark is here. What's up, brother? Tell us about how your demo at the show was received. Which demo at which show? I asked Jay today what he thought of Fisher and Fisher, and he said he had no opinion. Yeah, because I don't think he's heard it. I thought it odd because I thought he stopped by your room at a CAP Audio Fest last year. Weird. Yeah, he doesn't want to help me out. Why would he help me out? I don't want to fucking help him out, so it's like he's keeping it. He's not saying anything, I keep my mouth shut about him too. You know what I mean? I don't talk about stuff. Let's just say there's a lot that isn't, I don't know. I just keep my mouth shut. I have no opinion. Maybe I'm wrong about him dropping by your room. No, he was definitely in my room. He made a video. He commented on the room. And he, I don't know what he said. Who knows what he said? He's got different reasons. You got to understand, he's a funded guy. Okay. He does not run around on, just to be clear, and this is from Jay's mouth to me, and he's even said it on his videos. He does not run around for free to shows just out of his own interest to just see what the fuck's going on. He is paid to go to shows, and so he has certain interests that he must look after. Put two and two together. He's a journalist. He's like a magazine that gets paid to write about certain shit. He gets paid to come and make videos about certain shit. And that's his business model. He's open about it. He's not trying to hide it. He said many times, I don't do shit for free, so you can put two and two together. The people that you want to ask about Fisher and Fisher are people that aren't getting paid from other brands. Like, let's say Wilson, for instance, paid a guy to come into my room, or paid a guy to go to the show. If Wilson paid, how are you going to be rewarding them for paying you to go to the show if you say other speakers are good? You better just say Wilson is good and other people that pay you, right? So a lot of times the YouTubers become the same as the magazine guys. They're paid videographers instead of paid journalist writers. It's just a different way of advertising. So I'm pretty forthright about the money, where my money comes from. I'm forthright about what I own, what I don't own. And what I buy and what is provided to me from others, and what I'm selling as used and what is new, and whether I think things are a value at new price. Everything that I talk about on my channel, I think is a value at its new MSRP. But that's not always the truth with things like Wilson and D'Agostino and Macintosh and all that stuff. It's worth it if it's half price. And so that's a good question to ask people is, what did you pay for it? You know, did you pay more than half price? You know, and then that will tell you a lot. I'm not asking for you to even respond just weird. It's a weird business, bro. It's a weird business, Wes. There's a lot of effery, you know the word, that goes around in this business. And you guys know that I don't participate in it. Okay. So if anybody doesn't like what I'm doing, it's because they have a vested interest in keeping the wool over your eyes, because I pull the wool away from your eyes. And that is like, that is not something that makes the people that have the hustle going happy. Right. So yeah, so there's a lot of BS, and more, you guys are right now. I'm in a transitional phase. I'm very busy doing audio systems, so you don't see me doing a lot of videos. It's because I don't have the time for it. I'm traveling. I'm going to rigs. I'm selling every day. I'm taking orders. I'm packing stuff. I'm shipping stuff. It's it's too much for one guy to do. So over this weekend, I had a discussion with somebody in the industry that we may join forces and to bring you guys better service. And he's a real, let's say, anti-establishment guy too, and smarter and more pragmatic than I am, right? And has more money, and also has been a manufacturer, just like I've been a manufacturer. So, and I will talk to you guys more about that coming up. But you'll see. Right now, I'm in a transitional. I'm on pause. Like, for all intensive purposes, Mikey's on pause. All I'm doing, I mean, I'm working for people. I'm selling systems. But for you guys as viewers, and the content I'm providing is it's on the low burn, right? I've got it on low. I'm doing just only live streams, and I'm doing them 2 times a week, and that is the extent of my channel right now. It's been good. I mean, you guys can ask me anything. We talk about anything. And I'm best at stream of consciousness. Look, I know how to do the damn clickbait videos. Okay. I know exactly. I could do one every day, and every title would be something completely obnoxious and unbelievable, but it really wouldn't get me sales. It's not aimed at getting me sales. All it is aimed at getting me clicks. I make far more than I do selling audio than I do from getting clicks. So there's no interest in me to try and build some channel. Next thing you know, you have 100,000 subscribers, you got Patreons, and you're doing everybody's bidding, and you're not doing what you're here on this planet to do, which is create listening environments for people, which is really my forte, is building systems. So yeah, it is a weird, it's a weird system, but it's a weird industry, but trust me, great things are on the horizon, and they are in the works right now. Ain't nobody catching this, tribe member. You know it, man. Not with that 1911. Hispanic like me, Simon. Except Jose Ramirez. Okay. Puerto Riqueño. Soy cubano. Well, ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice from Spanish? Jerleni. I don't know. I can't remember the name. It's not. What is the name for a person from Spain? You're Puerto Riqueño. If you're Cuban, you're Cubano. If you're from Costa Rica, you're Tico. Nicaraguense, right? Spain is it's not I have no idea. Tell me, Jose. You know what I mean. Jose knows what I mean. Kemper Holt in the house. What's up, brother? Hanging out with the tribe and Dr. Vinyl. You know it. Welcome. Hey, Kemp. What is up, tribe? What's up, Snowmo? There's a video going around comparing $25 speaker wire to 100,000 get. Considering your outstanding knowledge, what is a good investment for great speaker cables? $1,000, $1,200, something like that. Anything else, in my opinion. Now, look, if you want to spend money on whatever the hell you want to, okay, then go ahead and do it. You need to realize something like $100,000 for speaker cables is made for people that just have so much money they want to blow it on shit, right? And they need to acquire things. We've had discussions. I've had discussion with people where people just buy shit. I talked to somebody yesterday that had a client that bought $50,000 speakers, and which isn't even that much, right? But at the time it was a lot for the guy he made them, right? And he sold them. They were 50 or 60. Anyways, this guy bought the seller didn't even talk to the buyer. He talked to the buyer's agent. So his personal assistant or whatever made the purchase, and then it was shipped to a warehouse where he stored it. It didn't even go into a rig. It went into storage. So people with a lot of money just buy shit to throw in their collection just because they've got nothing else to do, man, with their time but shop, or whatever. So a lot of it, that stuff on that end, it's not at all what we do, okay? So to compare $25 speaker cable to $100,000 speaker cable, you're comparing two completely different things. Even if you compare $2,500 speaker cable to $100,000, they're two different things, okay? $100,000 is not meant to be taken serious. That is not a speaker cable that anybody in their right mind can take serious at all. You can't take it serious. You just have to say, oh, it's one of those things for exotic buyers that like to buy in tigers and put them in their front yard, and then, just leave them there, right? So there are buyers that do buy that, people from, in Dubai, billionaires that blow that kind of cash. But typically that stuff is never sold for $100,000. I'll tell you that the guy that had them in his hands definitely didn't pay $100,000, if he even paid, or if it could be from a dealer, okay? Because as you know, a lot of the stuff that's there, that used stuff that goes through there is comes from a lot of different sources. So who knows what those are, but they were not purchased. They were not purchased for $100,000. Okay. They were 50 grand or less. And even then it's something different. So, $2,500 is I mean, $1,200. Veerstar, my company, was designed. This was my first hat in the ring, was making cables. That's how Kemper Holt knows me, from my cable days, right? When I was at the shows making cables. I got product of the year. I have a patent in cable design. That's my first hat. I can design cables like crazy, okay? I have put that my cable company has been on the back burner this whole time I've had my channel, okay? Because the dealer end of things took off. And if I can sell things that I don't have to make and don't have to micromanage and oversee and manage people, even a subcontractor has to be managed. I'd much rather sell something else that I can just ship straight to the person. I don't even have to handle it. Just much easier, right? The cables are coming, okay? And they will be offered to the tribe, and they will be offered at wholesale price. Since I'm not selling to a dealer and then the dealer's doubling it and selling to you, or I'm not selling to a distributor, he's putting 20 points on it, and then the dealer's doubling it after that, I'll be selling to you guys at wholesale. So you'll get $2,500 speaker cables for $1,200. It's what I use in my system, okay? I use those cables on purpose so that when people come over, there's no unfair bullshit that's going on in the rig. I'm showing them a system with $1,000 cables. I'm showing a system with $500 power cords. I'm not playing any games to try and change the sound, because you can change sound with speaker cables. I could put, and all it does is change the sound, and it's just taste, So to me, you need to do the broad strokes first, which is get the great gear, and it needs to sound great with $25 lamp cord. And then if it sounds great with that, then cool, you've got everything, you cross the line. Now you can tune it a little better with speaker cables. But to go deep on speaker cables, it should not be some major part. It should not like let's say you have $100,000 to spend on an audio rig. You should use $2,500 or $1,500 speaker cables. You don't need 10,000. There should not be 10%, $10,000 speaker cables in the rig. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's needed. And why? Because I create systems and I create this for people, and they don't need to upgrade their speaker cables. It's better to go with a better DAC, go with a better amp, than spend the money on the speaker cables. And it's a foolish comparison to do. Of course, $100,000 speaker cables are going to sound better than $25 speaker. Of course they are. I could beat a $25 speaker cable with a $150 speaker cable. I don't need to go to 100,000. So it's kind of silly, but it's smart for him to do that because it's clickbait. It gets bozos to click. Like, look at all the freaking views, 15,000 views or something like that. There was a video on why are Chinese boxes so good, and it's like 2,500 views. Nobody gives a shit. But you put stupid shit like $25 speaker wire. I mean, I know how to play that game. Okay, I know how to play that game. I could come up with something more creative than $25,000. Trust me, I go to 11. Mikey goes one farther than anybody does. Okay. So I could take it farther than that. I don't have any interest in doing it because it's manipulating people to get them to come to my channel. They're not coming for good quality content that they can learn something. They're coming for the train wreck, for the stupid, the monkey dancing around with the snake or whatever. It's a parlor trick. I could do it, but I don't have it in me. I did that at the very beginning. I did some things like that, and I may still do some things now that I'm making fun of clickbait. Like I may do something so preposterous that it's a parody, that I'm making fun of the people that are actually doing serious videos, meaning $25,000 versus $100,000. I'll do something completely ridiculous and silly so you guys know how it looks to me in my mind when I see this kind of a video. Like you point out, it's just a complete joke. It's like, this is how stupid we are, that we click on shit like that. And that's what we like. Somehow we're going to gain something out of that. Like, what are you going to gain? Of course it's going to be better. So anyways, it's all psychology, man. It's all psychology. Do the Fisher & Fisher 270s need subwoofer supplementation? And if so, what do you recommend? It depends on the size of the room and how close you listen to the speakers. You need to call me, Dan. If you want a consultation, you need to call me and get me and have consultation. I don't do it during the live stream. Walk away from the J discussion, my brother. Don't get baited by the nonsense. Not worth it, pal. We dig you, who you are, and what you are about. That's enough. Well, I dig you, pal. I can speak for myself. Yeah, thanks, Vic. I get the same thing from people that call me. Us two have two completely different people that like us, okay? So we can actually exist together. And a long time ago, I thought it would be funny for us to give each other shit, to go at each other, and it would be fun for you guys because we have two completely different customer bases. I attract a certain type of individual, a lot of doctors, a lot of attorneys, a lot of musicians, a lot of just down to earth regular people, a lot of and anyways, I mean, so I don't know, but they're two different people because my people don't watch his shit and don't like it, and his people probably don't watch my shit and don't like me either. So we can coexist. It doesn't matter, to each his own. It's all good. I know you've told us this industry crap, but I'm surprised when I experience it. Shame on me. No, it's all right, Tommy. I mean, I had somebody contact me, a customer right here, and I'm not, and he was over here listening the other day, and he came from out of state, and then he was talking to friends and watching videos from the Northwest Audio Show, and somebody that he had asked me about their DAC, and I said, that guy's not even a DAC maker. He's an amp maker. Why are you going to buy a DAC from a company that's not a DAC company? Buy from a DAC specialist. And it's a brand new DAC, right, from this guy. He's like, well, he tells me it's really good and all that stuff. I said, okay, whatever, buy what you want. Well, he contacted me. Oh, that guy's DAC blew up at the show. It channel fried. And I'm like, and he's like, and I've been in the he's like, the guys and the dealers and the people in the rooms look like total arrogant dweebs. Like they're not even people I'd want to hang out with, you know? And I'm like, okay, you know, I told you go check vibe, go into the rooms and catch the vibes of the people and see, are these people that are they your people? Are these your people or not? Ask yourself that, you know? And he was all surprised. And I said the same thing. I'm like, what did I tell you, bro? Did I tell you? One day you're gonna believe me, you know. But it I know it's hard to believe. It's just I'm saying things and you hear it and it doesn't really. The light bulb doesn't necessarily go off until you experience it, until you get put your finger in the fire, right? Then you go, wow, that shit is hot. So it's like it's the same thing until you really start to analyze this industry. If you just take the spoon-fed pablum, right? You're not gonna you're gonna be glossed over, and you're not gonna see through the cracks. But if you start to analyze the person in the room that's throwing the sound, how the room's set up, you look at the guy, you try and suss him out. Use your street smarts. Is this guy a hustler or is he a good person? Does he care about me or does he care about profit? What is this guy's prerogative? What's his energy like? What's his deal? Do I feel like I could trust him? Would I leave my kid in this room with that guy? You know, those kind of things. You can vibe somebody out. Use your street smarts. That's all I say. And man, you'll start to see the chinks in the armor, the cracks in the plaster, and you'll start to go, wow, man, this is jacked up. This is really a weird. But the reason I stand out on the outside, I guess I call a little bit black sheep outside of the industry, is because I don't want to lose people. I'm afraid that people will come to the industry, people that want to get into hi-fi will go to the audio shows and go, what a bunch of douchebags. Like these guys are douche nozzles. Like, I don't want to be any part of this. So I'm trying to like say, look, not everybody's like that. You know, there's certain element that's like that, but not everybody's like that. So, you know, be patient, find your peeps. Go to the rooms, get your vibe, find your peeps, find your fam, and chill with your fam, you know, and everybody's family is different, man. And we're all screwed up to a certain degree, right? But you just find your misfits and fit in with them, man. I've got a great group. The Hi-Fi Tribe is phenomenal. And we've got really great people. High-end audio is getting too expensive. Thanks for trying. And is that a barf? Oh, you're crying. Thanks for trying to get more affordable gear. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. You know, I was talking with somebody today from a DAC company, and they just introduced a DAC that's $60,000. Okay. This is a company that when I met them, they were still hand making their shit DIY. To this day, they still don't make the DAC board. They make the output section, the audio analog output section, which is, to me, the simple part of a DAC. Okay. And they make it very elaborate, right? And they've gained much acclaim and they've become a popular product and a fad. And they just released a new DAC, 60 grand. And I'm like, holy shit, I've seen these guys go, I've seen them double and double and double their price and keep going up. And the feeling about it was, you know, there's rich people that demand this shit, so we're fucking making it. Wouldn't you rather sell something if people are demanding it for 60 grand, then make some shit that is 26 grand, like say the playback design stack? Wouldn't you rather sell it for more money? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get the money part. Okay. It's great. You know, making more money is always good. But if you're doing it just because you can, it's got a different, it takes on a different feel to it. It's like, what can I get away with? If it's almost like, and I'm going to use some profanity here. So put your fingers in your ears if you don't like profanity. It's like saying, you know, these motherfuckers have the money and they want to fucking spend it. So you know what? I'm going to make some shit for them so that I can take their money, because if I don't take their money, some other hustler will. So I understand that mentality, and I used to run like that. Okay, I used to run peddlers. I had groups of peddlers that went out into the street and pushed merchandise in cold called businesses and they brought me cash every day. And I'd fire them up in the morning, and I taught them. I did a what would you call it? Psycho manipulation or something like that. Like my trip to them was, no, you're not going to make as much money like that. You're a business owner. It's a total head thing. You are their boss when you walk in. These people in these clock stamping jobs are used to taking orders all day long. So walk in and boss them around, and they will comply because they're used to being bossed. They're hourly wage earners. They're boss them. Go in and boss them. Tell them what to do, and they will do it. And it actually works. And so you get these people thinking that, that work for you, that this is their only way that they're going to actually be in charge of their own destiny, right? Is through your opportunity. Yeah. And so I've done the manipulation thing where you go after hitting people in the pocket. Okay. And it was unfulfilling for me. I didn't feel like I was really doing anybody a total favor. I mean, I guess, but you can fool yourself into saying that you're doing. I could have said these kids are derelicts. The kids that were working for me, most of them were. They're derelicts. They're not going to have anything that's going to pay them like this. I'm teaching them good skills, which I really was, and the people out in the field, they need this art. It's less expensive than, even though it's cheap art, they need it. They're not going to find it at this price. You can find rationale for hustling people. Okay. So again, there's nothing wrong with selling some shit that's overpriced, right? You can sell, but my thing is like bringing you guys, going out into the if I had my druthers, okay, and it may end up this way, the Hi-Fi Tribe would make our own product. We would make it, okay? And if I can't find it, then we will make it, okay? I will find ways to make it for us so we can buy it at what's a reasonable price. That's how strong I feel about it, because fuck where everybody else is going. Again, excuse my profanity, but fuck where the rest of the industry is going. If these jackasses are all going into the pie of sky of rich elites, wiping their hiney, to take their money, it's like and they're in this little club that they think they're all cool if they have that certain brand, and it's part of this club. It's like it's a full mentality. Okay, it's a full psychology, and I know how to take advantage of that psychology. There are books on it, how to create a psychology, how to create a fad, and then how to pump it and then dump it after. Eventually you dump it, right? You ride it for all it's worth, and then you create another one. You pump that and dump that, and that's like some of these guys on YouTube pump and dump. They pump products and then dump that shit off. And then the next product comes in, they pump it, and then they dump that shit off. Then they bring the next product in, they pump that shit, then they dump that off. Pump and dump, classic. It's not hard to do. Buyers are the psychology is very clear cut. Again, there's books on it, and you can hone your skills on how to bring people into the funnel and funnel them down and then take their money. I'm not into it, man. I want to live and let live. I attract people. So yeah. So I find Fisher prime example, ridiculous freaking value, freaking tarded. Today, the guy that I was talking to about the DAC showed me his speakers, $70,000, and they're freaking box with the horn on top and a 12-inch woofer. I'm like, dude, that is the easiest build. I can't believe. Well, and then his response was, well, I buy at, what was it? Accommodation pricing. I get it at dealer. So he gets it half price. So, I mean, even then, but it's like, then it's, so I know. So I find the value. Either you like it or you don't, whatever. But Fisher & Fisher's a ridiculous value. Wait till we go to Capital Audio Fest. You guys come to Capital Audio Fest. I'm going to show you a hi-fi system that is an exotic sound system that is going to be less than most of the DACs that you see there. The whole system, everything's going to be $25K. And I'm going to do it as a big middle finger to show you how good sound I can give you guys for $25K. You know, and it will show you what a delta there is, what a disparity there is, what a ridiculous money grab the expensive shit is. And then you'll just realize it's something different. It's not the same. It doesn't, the manufacturers don't care about the bringing a value whatsoever. It's not about that. It's just about doing the most expensive thing. You know, who can make it most expensive? It's a race to the top, you know. Just listen to Zeloton Plural Evo speakers at Pacific Audio Fest, and they were mind blowing. That's good. Did you buy them? Probably not. How much were they? Who knows? Thanks for sharing your wisdom experience. Much appreciated. Rock on, Mikey. You bet, Dan. Just holler, man, if you want more. Hey, Mike, the magnetic is bringing plenty of joy to my system. I do not think I need a subwoofer now. Look at that. So Rocky here bought a Nat Audio magnetic line stage. So this is a preamp that I sell from Nat Audio of Serbia. It is bringing, it actually cured his need of a subwoofer because of the bass from it. Having multiple sources, including vinyl, the preamp is definitely important. Yes, it is. When you have vinyl and multiple pre-sources and multiple sources, and including vinyl, the preamp is crucial. It's crucial in that picture. When I talk about no preamp being needed, I'm talking about systems that are only digital and systems that use the playback designs or the audio analog. So, unfortunately, I have bad news that I have to tell you guys about. I heard about the NS1. Okay, so Andreas Koch of Playback Designs, I sent him the NS1 to look at, and he opened it up, went through it, because we were going to try and make the NS1 work with the playback. Andreas was willing to do it, and he looked at it and was like, I can't believe what's inside this thing. And if Chuck is there, I'm sorry, Ted, because I sold Ted one, we'll get you something else. If it sounds great and you love it, sweet, man. But I'm going to have to test it now, and I'll test it and compare it to some other things and see. But judging by specification and how the clock is done and all that, it should not sound good based on what it looked like. So now I'm going to have to listen to it and see if it sounds good, even though it's using really not high level protocol. So I'm glad that that's something different. So that was off subject. So I have to find something. So that boils it down to, I have to find something new for Capital Audio Fest that is a streamer for like $4,000 or less. Where do you put speaker cables in importance to the interconnect conversation? XLRs, power cords. Power cord is first. Speaker cable is second. Interconnects is third. That's how it goes. And then USB and shit is fourth. And don't kid yourself. USB does make a difference. Ethernet cables do make a difference. It's crazy, but they do. Español. So, yo soy español. Is that what you say? Boricua from Puerto Rico. Okay. I was in no way trying to bait you by bringing up. No, I understand, Tom. I know who you are. It deserves conversation. You know, I mean, it's a clickbait video. And bravo to Jay for making a video that did so well. He's getting better at that, you know, and he's the king of that. He's the king of doing dramatic things that, oh my God, people come to see the train wreck. And he's successful at it, but that's his game, you know, like that's what he's trying to do. So he did a good job, but I mean, if we're to take it serious, I don't think we can take it serious. But I don't, you know, it accomplished the goal. So I applaud it, you know. I saw your latest dance routine. Where did I study? In the strip clubs. That's not clear. Spaniard. There you go. Yo soy Spaniard. But you'd have to say it in Spanish. A Spaniard is There's a different way to say it. $100,000 speaker cables, insanity for sure. Yeah, it's one of those stupid things. And then now we have $250,000 DAC that's come out, and now MSB can't be outdone. So MSB is coming up, I guess, new now with a $200,000 DAC. I was about ready to applaud MSB's top of the line going down to 90 grand from 140, but they did that so they can introduce the $200,000 top of the line, evidently. So it's like that was a very short time where I was applauding MSB in their going backwards when the rest of the industry was getting more expensive. Spaniard perhaps, though this is coming from an Irish Scandinavian dude, so what do I know? Corned beef and cabbage. Españoles, there we go. Españoles. Yo soy español. Españoles is nosotros españoles, pero yo soy españolo. That doesn't make sense, right? That's not how it's said, but that seems like that's how it would be said. Jerleni. 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 I gotta ask my woman. How do you say if you're from Spain? Yo soy ¿qué? Yo soy qué? If I'm from Espanol, if I'm from Spanish, from Spain.
But what does it mean? What does it mean?
If I'm trying to say I'm Cuban, yo soy cubano. Yo soy tico. Yo soy puertorriqueño. Boricua. Whatever.
Yo soy español.
Yo soy español. That's what Jose was saying. Yo soy español. So, but I thought español was like the language.
No,
it's the same thing. Same word. Yo soy español. Okay. Got it. So it's confusing because it's the word. Okay. So how do we take the anti-establishment mentality to the systems below 15K? Okay. So that market wants value too. That is out of my field of expertise. There are other people that are good at that. I think maybe Jay-Z Aggie might be your guy for that. Below 15K, boy, I would say Shit Audio, just Geshelli Labs. I don't know who makes speakers in the United States for that kind of bread, but that is not my forte. It's just because it's not my thing. I'm not that into it. I don't enjoy systems that are under 15K. The best I can do, I can give you an exotic for 25. It's only 10 more. And I can give you a straight up exotic, and you guys will see it at Capital Audio Fest. It will be a straight up exotic system with exotic sound and exotic components, things that are not high number, not high production number items, which is tricky to find. Hey, Charles, what's up, Charles? I was just talking about you a second ago, man. I need to suss out that NS1. I got the NS. Remember, you bought my NS1, the very first one that I had. I never even got a chance to listen to it. I've got two more now, and I've got to listen. I've got to sell them, of course, but I need to listen to one of them and suss it out and let you know if I think it's worth what you paid for it. Okay, because I didn't really have a fair chance to do that. If I don't think it's worth what you paid for it, I'm going to give you money back, so it is worth what you paid for it, or you can give it back to me and I'll give you the credit of what you paid for it and we get you something else. But I just got a report back from Andreas about what's inside that thing and how they do the clocks and everything like that. And it wasn't, it definitely didn't match the level of the chassis. Let's put it that way. Okay. The chassis is for sure the sweetest thing about that in terms of how it's put together, but I'll have to listen to it, and it will not work with, it's never going to work with the Playback Designs unit, which is unfortunate. And according to Andreas, it has to work with the MLabs unit via a wire. You can't even use that fiber optic out that we know of to go to the DAC. So it's just a weird design. I think the problem is with crazy expensive cables, it makes people think all expensive gear is a scam. And as we all know, that's not necessarily the case at all. Yeah, well, it depends what. Okay, first of all, okay, let's pull this apart. Okay, so scam is a bad word to use because scam indicates illegal. Okay, so there is no scams in hi-fi. There are hustles, I might call them, or like overpriced gear, but none of it's illegal. None of it's a scam. Okay, nobody's getting scammed. They're getting hustled, and maybe they're not even getting hustled. They're getting milked. Okay, so let's make it even more proper. There's cows out there with big fat udders full of green milk, okay? And if you want to come up and milk that, first of all, you got to have milking hands and you got to like to pull on cow teats and get down underneath the cow where it's all hot and sweaty and stinky, and you got to pull them teats and milk that cow. If you want to milk somebody, you can do it, and it's not illegal to milk, okay? And many times, so expensive gear, when you say all expensive gear, that is way too broad of a statement. You've got to bring that down into understanding. Bring that down into qualify that more. Give me how over what price, okay? What I would say is after. Okay, for components, I would say anything above $30,000. And for speakers, I would say anything over 110, 120, let's say $1,000. Let's be more generous. Let's say 150. So anything over 30 grand per component, anything over 150 grand on speakers, to me, you're milking now. That is product meant to milk the wealthy, okay? Again, nothing wrong with that, but that's a milk. That is not the same type of product that is like under 150 for speakers, or at 150 or under, or at 30 or less for the components. Because I don't think you can improve or get any better. Maybe you can fill a bigger room. You can, but I still haven't heard where it gets. I can still find top of the line shit for 30 grand each level or less. And I will prove it at Capital Audio Fest with my $25,000 rig. But with crazy expensive cables, it makes people think all expensive gear. They may think what I'm afraid of is they'll think that the hi-fi hobby is a scam. Like it's just, or not a scam. Again, you don't use that word, but the hi-fi hobby is meant to milk people. Like you can't get in it without getting milked. And in fact, even people that are in the industry that are audiophiles believe that, because there's a whole sect of people that are audiophiles that say, I don't pay retail for anything. And they go around buying used gear all the time. And so they can get it half off. Okay. Like we know who some of the YouTubers are that only buy it half off, and only all the shit in their system has only ever been gained at half price. So there's a whole group of audiophiles that think that they're gonna because they know the real expensive shit is it's not worth the money. It's not worth the retail price. That's why I concentrate on bringing things that are worth their full retail price to try and save some integrity for this rapidly decaying industry. Okay. And I'm doing it with the Hi-Fi Tribe. And again, we're creating the tribe. It's getting bigger. If you guys have not signed up for the Hi-Fi Tribe, do it now at 11 Stereo. It is free. I'm going to do this. You do it at 11 Stereo. Subscribe to the channel. Give a thumbs up. If you haven't done that yet, do it now, please. And help the channel. It's the only way I know you guys like what I'm doing, okay, with the live streams, is when you keep subscribing. Then I know, okay, I'll keep doing it, okay? If people stop subscribing, I would stop doing videos. And then contact at me at 11 Stereo if you want an audio consultation, Okay. And I mean like a surfacey one. Okay. I'm not going to go into telling you what you should put in and telling you. And it's funny because you can tell the cheap motherfuckers too. They're funny because they keep pimping you for questions, man. Look, I'll give you half an hour of my time. I may even give you an hour of my time talking about stuff and helping you along, but it's going to be broad strokes. I'm not going to get into what's good in your room. It's you can tell people are funny. Let's just put it that way. People are funny, but I don't make you pay me $200 an hour or $100 an hour or anything like that just to talk with me. But that would weed out the cheap sons of bitches, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. But it doesn't matter. Just to talk to me is free, and I don't mind. I don't mind talking to people and giving you general advice and kind of helping to steer you. But ultimately, I make my money from selling to you, and I've never hidden that. I've always told you that I'm a dealer and that that's what I do. So, where am I? Do this. Okay. So let me go back here to where I am so I can answer more questions. Find out where I am. Okay. Wow, people have been chalking it up. Okay, here we go. We are ready. Bring it. You know it. David's ready. David, are you going to be there, buddy? You're coming to Capital Audio Fest? If you come to Capital Audio Fest, bring your Cora, dude, and let's have a concert. Okay? Why don't you? Can you do that? That would be really cool. We can play and you can sell your CDs. I use high wire cables, about 20 years old now. Have you heard of them? Never heard of them. If they're copper, after 20 years, they are going to be oxidized. So it will not sound, you are hindering your system. If they're silver sulfide is conductive. So it's not so bad with silver. But if they're copper, after 20 years, that shit's going to be oxidized. And there is something called dielectric, what do they call it? Dielectric switching or something like that, where it's like a diode. It's a diode effect of having speakers that are oxidized, copper cables that are oxidized because they don't conduct. So you could greatly improve by freshening those, even if you just use something basic. $100,000 speaker cables makes much more sense to me as having $100,000 hangers to put your clothes on in the closet. Exactly. And I'm sure there are people like, look at the guys in Dubai. They freaking gold plate their Lamborghinis. You know, it's like, that's what you do when you have gross amounts of money. You do. And then a bunch of little servants follow you around eating your golden turds, you know, and that's how I see the people selling $100,000. They're crumb snatchers. They're turd snatchers. They're billionaire ass eaters. You know, it's like, it's gross to me. It's like, that's, and they go after, because why wouldn't you eat a golden turd if it was golden? You'd eat it right out of his ass, wouldn't you? And it would be gold. And you could put the money, you could maybe have whatever object you want that is material in this fucking planet. It's just stupid shit to me. So anyways, I digress. With a lesser quality under 2K DAC, is a DDC usually a good addition? It can be. I don't know. It's all relative, you know, but why buy a DDC? And don't, you know, if you have an under 2K DAC, save your damn money and buy a better DAC. Buy a $5,000 DAC. Don't buy a DDC to polish a turd. You know, I mean, and that's what people do. They try, then they add this little thing for $2,000. Then they add this other power supply for $2,000. Then they buy this other thing for $2,000, and they $2,000. It's like, dude, save up $5,000 or $6,000 and buy a freaking good DAC. That's a much better idea. Florida was okay, man. I mean, Florida's always good because it's chill down there, man. You get the damn flip-flops on, and I'll tell you, dude, there's something about the pressure point between the big toe and the next toe that is a fucking pressure release valve. That's where it is for me. It's in between my big toe and the next toe. The second I feel that flip-flop on my foot, I'm like, I can relax now. And, you know, and shorts and cigars, and it's like, oh, I'm in Florida. This is the best, you know. It's just great. Even when it was rainy, it could have been better. I could have gotten out and scuba dived. It could have done some fishing, but there was other things to do. and it was rainy, but it was still good to be down there. I watch both your shit, but for a very different reasons. Okay, well, good. There you go. That's good. So some people do. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Tribe. What's up, Glenn? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, from the UK. What's up, Siropus? Has anybody heard of Yamamura Millennium 5000? No. I got to say my system literally blew right into the music. It was unbelievable. Okay. Well, people have said that, first of all, okay, if it takes a cable to give life to your system, there's something wrong with your system. Okay, that is my opinion. Okay, you're right. What you're telling me is that certain cable by that certain manufacturer, that certain model, and that certain thing will make or break your audio system. If it's out of there, your system's shit. It's broken. If you put it in, it's got life all of a sudden. You take it out, it's a dead cadaver. You put it in, it's a live human. So there's something wrong with that. That's too huge of a swing. That's too big of a swing. It's correcting for something that's fucked up. Okay. And so that's never good when that happens. And that's never good when that happens. And that shit works in your rig. I put it in mine. It may totally not work. That's the thing about cables. The speaker cable changes the impedance of the speaker. It has its own impedance, right? So it's all about the math and the electrical values between the speaker and your amp. And when you put the cable in, you're going to mess with that. So what works for you definitely isn't working for the next guy. So it's not all the time. Okay, sometimes if you're lucky, it does. So that therein lies the rub. You need a system that doesn't rely on that shit, because that can't be true for everybody. So I just sell what's killer, silver-plated copper. They're $1,000. They sound good almost everywhere that I've used them. Is there better? Sure. Yeah, they cost more, like you and Jay both, you both love audio in different ways. Yes, that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Like stocks. Do those who sell the $60,000 DAC arrive in a covered wagon and also sell tonics that can cure cancer, baldness, athlete's foot, gout, and will improve your hearing? One spoonful. No, but they do have buyers, man. They do have buyers. There's a new group of, wealthy people that made a ton of money during COVID. They made a ton of money with Bitcoin. They made, there's new millionaires, and they want to spend their dough. It's new money. Okay, so new money, they spend money indiscriminately. Old money does not. New money, they flash it around. It's so easy to see new money. You can see it a fucking mile away, right? Nouveau riche. Okay, whatever. Making videos of their stuff and selfies, and the chicks doing all there with their Prada bags, or not even Prada, Hermes, whatever. It's just, it's gross. But there's buyers. So, people make stuff for those buyers. One day maybe I will, as a parody, and it'll be a laugh, and I'll sell it to people in Dubai. I'm afraid to buy something new for a large lot of money only to be disappointed. But if you buy from somebody that will guarantee it, so what you're telling me is you'd rather buy something used for a lesser lot of money to be disappointed. Why not buy something new for a large lot of money that where it's guaranteed not to disappoint? How about that? That's what makes the most amount of sense. Buy where there's a guarantee of complete happiness. Not that it works, not guaranteed to work, but guaranteed to make you jizz in your jeans. Like make you go, this is the best shit I've ever heard. Okay? That's my guarantee. My guarantee is when you buy from me, your system will sound better than it ever has your whole freaking life. Okay? If that doesn't come true, you get all your money back. That's the best thing in the business. That's the best deal you could come across. Are you coming to Toronto Audio Fest show? I don't think so, Amrik. I do not think so. I've got no interest in going. I do kind of, Canada might be interesting. I've never gone to the cities. I've gone up into I want to go to Banff, I want to go to like some beautiful mountains and shit like that. I don't really care about the cities and audio shows, What do I have? What's in it for me to go to Canada in the audio show? I don't know what's in it for me, Um, I would like to go to Toronto, say hi to Angie, say hi to Jay, but the show is going to be disappointing. Audio is overpriced for sure. Being a DIY guy, I know. Yes, once you DIY it and you see how much the materials cost, it's easy to figure out how ridiculously overpriced this is. You're like, I just put that shit together, so I know what goes into building a box. Building a box is hard too. When you see an open baffle, that's where you really go, Jesus Christ, man. That was the easiest shit I ever just did. Anyways, sup, Mikey from Oakland. That one, brother. He's calling from Oakland, man. Good to see you, man. I love Oaktown, dude. People tell me it's scary. I haven't been scared ever in Oakland. I like it. Then again, I come from Atlanta. I'm fine with my darker family members, shall you say. So I'm not worried about areas like that. I don't know, man. But people say Oakland's gotten bad. I don't know. How is it there, man? Is it bad for you or is it not? I got the coolest hat in Oakland, man. It's Oakland Harley Davidson. Where is it? It's not in here. Let me see if I got it. I was wearing it the other day. I don't know if you saw it. No, man, it's not in here. I just looked to see if I could find it real quick, but I can't. So Oaktown in the house, man. Welcome. Yo soy un español capo. That's what I need to say. Thanks, brother. There you go. Hey, Marty, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Asking because you know more than I, what is the benefit of a preamp? It can juice the signal, okay? That means flavor it, juice it, make it more powerful, give it better bass. If you can plug a phono stage DAC and streamer directly into your amp. Okay, so the benefit of the preamp is if it's better than the analog output section of your DAC. So your DAC has to be better than a preamp. Mine is, okay? I haven't found, let's put it, I've tried a lot of different preamps. I've got some sick preamps here right now. Some of them that I don't even want to sell because they're so freaking good sounding. But the DAC still beats them, the analog output section of the playback designs, okay? That's the only one. But it just so happens that's the one I use. And that's the one I promote for people that want to spend 20 some odd or more on a DAC. But that's the reason for the preamp is if it sounds better than the volume control on your DAC, which in many times it does. So you put a preamp in to juice it. The rub of that is, and I'm going to use profanity again, motherfucker, that's a $20,000 volume control now that I need in my rig because it just totally made it sound better. So fuck. I've got a 20 grand sitting right there to control my damn volume. So it's like cognitive. It's like, what do they call it? Cognitive dissonance is more like not wanting to think about it, right? But it's this underlying agita that you have. You're just like, every time you look at it, you're like, I fucking need that thing, but it's 20 grand, but I can't take it out because it made everything sound better and it pisses me off. I'm like, why can't DACs be better? Why can't they just make an output section better? Why do they make it so that I need to buy? Oh, you mean the same company sells the preamps that sells the DACs? Okay, now I get it. They're trying to upsell my ass a freaking preamp. So they're not going to make but Playback Designs doesn't make preamps. So they make the analog output section of their DAC better. They make it as good as a preamp. In fact, now they're going to be available with analog inputs. So you can plug your, and you can juice it using the analog output section of the Playback Designs. So right now you can get Playback Designs for $30K that'll have analog inputs and you can put your phono into the DAC. Okay. Now that's cooking with fire. Okay. Then you don't need to spend it costs $4,000 more. So you're getting a $4,000 preamp upgrade in there that is significantly better. And look, I'll test it against any preamp, and we'll see. I'm about ready to go do one locally with a very expensive DAC preamp combo. Was it that the preamp must decipher all those? No, the preamp doesn't do shit for deciphering shit. Okay, a preamp, it just passes something. It just makes it louder. A preamp takes a really baby signal and makes it a little more stronger of a signal, and then it adds emphasis into it, not technical emphasis because that's a digital term, but it adds, it'll juice it up. You put a tube in there, it'll flavor it. You're flavoring it. You're giving it something. You're adding. A preamp is absolutely additive, okay? There's nobody that can say a preamp takes away. You're adding a whole circuit and a whole box into the chain. So you're putting it through a bunch of shit now. So it's additive, but that additive can be flavorful, And with a really dry tasting stew, that flavoring can make it delicious and palatable and like you love it. But if your stew already has beautiful, subtle umami and very good flavors to begin with, and you don't want to over season it, you have to taste that subtle umami Japanese flavor, just using that in Japanese food, because Japanese food is about subtle flavor, right? And some of those soups that you have, Japanese soups, are mind-bending, how simple they are and how delicious they are at the same time. It's like, how do they make something so delicious and so subtly flavored? It's like nature. And then you have something like from Louisiana, and you're like, it kicks your ass. And there's nothing natural about it. It's like voodoo in your mouth, right? And it's wonderful too in a different way, but it's not the same. So a preamp is Louisiana food. No preamp is Japanese food. How's that for foodies? Did we see a video where Mikey liked Focal? Never once. Given the music used at audio shows, how I like the way they look. I've said that I like the way that, and I still like the way they look. They look badass. They look so cool. I love that look. But sound, thumbs down. Given the music used at audio shows, how can less well-produced music actually work in systems that are revealing? Okay, so there's a fine line with that. Okay. There's a very fine line. What Carmine is asking is about there are some systems that are so revealing that which means that these are the systems, and it's not that they're revealing as much as it is that they ride on the borderline of analysis. Okay, well, actually, they're well within analysis. They borderline on aggressive. Okay, because they're in their zeal or in their pursuit of getting every little detail out of it. It's like a scalpel. It's like sharpening a blade. You sharpen a blade to such a sharp degree that, holy shit, you got to be careful with that thing, man. You can really cut yourself. You need to go to school, Japanese sushi school, right? Or whatever, to learn to use that blade without hurting yourself. Okay. And that's how these systems are. These systems get borderline aggressive. They get so close to the edge that only good music can sound, only stuff that doesn't go forward can sound good on it. When you get a recording that is more pushed into the red or more aggressive with electric guitars, it hurts because those systems ride the border of aggressive. Some people they think that's good, okay? And I teach that it's not. It's too far close to the line of aggressive to me, because then you're gonna lose half the music, because half of it's not gonna fit your profile of audiophile recording. Therefore, half your music, throw it out the freaking window, because your system is too freaking aggressive. You got it too close. You're spending all your money to get it all, extract all the little detail. And this is what I call hi-fi sound. And this comes many times from typical dealer type house sound, because when people walk in off the street, you can blow their mind with that resolution. But the dealer knows this, so he has his carefully chosen songs that don't push it over the edge. I know the songs that push that shit over the edge. So when I come to your dealership, I'm going to play those songs to find out how close you are. I already know. I sit down and I go, this thing's riding the damn edge. Let me push it over the edge for these guys so they know. I'll do that and this is how when I'm at people's house, how I tell them their system is harsh or their system doesn't sound good without telling them. I don't have to tell them. It's in my choice of music. I pick the songs that expose their system. And I play those songs, and I will play them 4 in a frickin' row. And then bam, I give them a good one. And then bam, I go back to a harsh one. Then bam, I give them a good one. And I let them know, look, and I don't say a thing. If they're astute, they get what I'm doing. Mikey's exposing the weakness of my system and showing me its weakness. And then he's showing me the stuff I like to listen to, how it sounds good. And then he's exposing the weakness again. My systems don't do that. The systems that I put together can play everything. And they don't expose bad, good, and they are revealing. Perfect example, Fisher & Fisher, smooth and articulate at the same time. How can you find something that is both, that has both definition, well-defined leading edge, and is smooth at the same time? Jeff Rowland and Fisher & Fisher, 2 perfect examples of that. Audio analog is even slightly, that one's a musical sound. So that one is more like Class A, liquidy kind sound, at least with the Donizetti. And then Viola Labs, right on the border edge of aggressive. It rides that edge. It is great to listen to when you have the good recordings. It's like fucking heroin, right? And then, but you can exacerbate that shit. You can run it into like play Audio Slave. You know, the first tune on the Audio Slave album, like a highway, right? Is that it? Like a highway or whatever the hell. It'll expose it. You'll be like, oh, play Duran Duran. You know, Ordinary World. And you're going to run it. You're going to push it over the line. And that's no fun. Those systems are no fun because it ruins half the songs. So I hope that answered your question. Hey, Mikey, Tom from Texas here. Keogh Brothers. I know that lifting Boogaloo Brothers. I know that lifting speaker cables off the ground should make a difference. But what about power cables? Same thing. All of them. You have to realize, you know, that if you ever worked in an an automobile shop, you don't set the batteries on the concrete floor, right? You set them on wood blocks. Okay. Why is that? Because the floor is like a capacitor. A slab will pull the juice out of the battery. Okay. It absorbs juice, whatever that is, electromagnetism, juice, shit, whatever. It gets absorbed. You can't put them on the ground. And the same goes with electric stuff. You put it on the ground, it's gonna change the electric properties of that cable by having it on carpet, because carpet is static and it will do weird shit with the static field. And concrete, if you're on a slab, maybe not as much on a wood floor, but on a wood floor you'll pick up vibration for sure. So yeah, get them up off the ground and get them on risers that also handle vibration. You don't want vibration coming up from the floor into the cable. I was waiting on the upgrade interconnects for NS1 to evaluate the streamer. I'm now using a $7 interconnect. Cool. Then holler at a brother. Call me tomorrow, man. I'll get you straightened away. I got some here. Would love if you can showcase the upcoming Toronto Audio Fest. Want to see you here. Yeah, man. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know, really. I have to look at what's the takeaway? You know, what do I get out of it? You know, I'll get a couple meals. You know, I've had people say, come up here, we'll feed you, you know, but who am I going to see? You know, it's like, do I have customers up there? Is there anybody's rig that I'm going to go to and get paid to tune their rig? You know, these are reasons why a lot of times I go to a show. I'm definitely not going to exhibit up there. So who knows? $1 per pound for what? 40K for floor standers. 40K for floor standers. Fisher and Fisher 770s. Try and beat that. You can't come close. Fucking 400-pound slate speakers, 3 different modules, dual 10-inch woofers. There's no way you're beating the Fisher and Fisher 770. That's a ridiculous value for $40,000. That's my pick. Listening while packing. But I got something for you when I get back. When you get back, where? Are you going traveling? You bringing me Cuban cigars? What are you bringing me? Chocolate? You bringing me something? Theron's gonna bring me something. Theron's a good guy, man. Theron and I go back and forth politically, on the phone, and he's the only straight Democrat that I can. Well, maybe there's one other guy in Jersey, Jacob. Okay, these are 2 guys that I can talk to as Democrats, and we can give each other shit, and not get pissed. It's an amazing thing. I suppose David Gilden would be. I'd be able to talk with him too, but we don't go there. It's you gotta. It's like being able to vent, right? I'm sure Theron vents to me, and I vent to Theron. You know, and the funny part is we're both under the political manipulation. He's just on one side, I'm on the other, but it's all just a mind fuck anyways. You know, it's all just, what is the tribe? Why sign up? Okay, good question. So the Hi-Fi Tribe is an enthusiast group that I created. Okay, I created this not only as an enthusiast group, but as a way for us to share in listening. The Hi-Fi Tribe has locations around the globe. We have hundreds of them. And these are places where you can go listen to hi-fi, meet with a local tribe member, have coffee, chill, hang out, have cigars, go shooting, go hunt, do whatever you guys want, man. But they're people that have gone to the 11 Stereo website and have signed up for the Hi-Fi Tribe. In order to sign up for the Hi-Fi Tribe, and in order to even buy from me, you have to agree to a code of conduct, okay? And basically that conduct is, don't be an arrogant dick, okay? Don't be dishonest. Don't be a loser, you know? Just don't be a typical audiophile prick, which this industry seems to proliferate in many ways. So I decided at one point, okay, after being in this industry for 30 years, okay, I decided, and on the inside, okay, and as a manufacturer, I decided I'm creating, this industry is going further away from what I see as an ideal industry. So I'm going to create my own sub-industry, if you will. I'm creating the Hi-Fi Tribe, which is our own sub marketplace. We buy and sell with each other. We give better prices than we would on the open market. You get better deals as a buyer. You get better people as a seller, that our buyers are better people. We don't fuck around. We don't lie to each other. We don't hide scratches. We don't hide broken merch and all that kind of stuff. We don't hustle each other, and we pull each other up. There's a facet of the Hi-Fi Tribe that is 11 Stereo Foundation, where we place audio systems that are donated to us into people that can't afford hi-fi systems houses. Okay, like war vets, things like that. Veterans right now in Charles, which I don't think I've seen him here yet. We place systems in their home because I know these people. They're part of the tribe, man. We help our tribe members. Our tribe member is inclusive, all inclusive of all walks, sizes, political affiliations. It doesn't matter to us. Gay, straight, anything. It doesn't matter. We're all a big family. We're all freaking humans. We all love music. We all get this. And so I created this for us, okay? And there's none of this holier than thou bullshit attitude, whatever. And we don't sugarcoat things. We talk to each other like real human beings, like I talk to you. I'm not putting you on. I'm not being a character on YouTube. This is just me, right? And so I created the Hi-Fi Tribe for that. When you sign up, you get, and the newsletters haven't started yet, but you agree to get a newsletter. Maximum would be like once a week, if it ever gets to be that much. But the intention is to do one a month. At the max, it would be one a week. And during that, I will give you certain advantages to buy certain products at certain prices. You have to be part of the tribe. I import certain products from the other around the globe that are you can only buy from the Hi-Fi tribe, and only tribe members get to, like Fisher and Fisher. You have to sign up for the Hi-Fi tribe to buy Fisher and Fisher. You can't buy it as a non-tribe member. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It just lets us know that there's an understanding, and it's where you have to put your name in. I'm not a dickhead. You know, I'm willing to be cool, and I want to be part of this cool thing called the Hi-Fi tribe, and that's what it is. And it's just growing. It keeps on growing. The more and we're doing bigger and bigger things. There are plans in the works that one day will come to light, that I'll present them, and it will be like overnight. There will be a big change, a big shift that will happen, and it will alter the hi-fi industry. And so if you want to be part of that, sign up at 11 Stereo, and that's why you sign up. Great question. Yes, you will bring your Cora. Attaboy. Nice. And you sell your CDs. Mikey for president. Oh, God. I would hate that job. Hawaii is the place to scuba. Yeah. Or Palancar, or the Dead Sea, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Cozumel. What's that other place? Belize. There is a lot of places, but Hawaii is good, man, for sure. Night reef dive, totally awesome. Night diving is sick, bro. I've tried that. The colors are incredible. You don't get anywhere near the colors you do. If anybody is not a diver, you don't know this, but at night when you use a flashlight underwater, or a diving light, the colors are 10 times more brilliant than they are during the day. Do you think the AA DAC is better than the Playback Designs Merlot DAC? I don't know. I've never had a Merlot here to compare. So I don't know. It's more functional because the AA DAC has a volume control, and the Playback Merlot needs a preamp, and the preamp is not going to be Playback Designs. So you're going to flavor your Playback Designs with whatever preamp you use. So the AA DAC in theory is better. The functionality is better, and it makes more sense. But I'd have to have them side by side, and then we'd have to run it through a preamp to compare them. I'd have to put a preamp on that AA DAC, and then we'd have to say, okay, running through this preamp. And then when you do that, one DAC could work better with that preamp electrically than the other one could. So it's a really hard way to compare DACs that don't have volume controls with DACs that do have volume controls. It's kind of tough. Have you heard Martin speakers? Yes, they're awesome. The opinions, they're great, man. Martin speakers are sweet, brother. Coltrane's, those things are bad. They're bad to the bone, bro. They're just fucking bread, you know? Not saying that. You're not saying what? You're not saying you're bringing your damn thing? Wow. What price points do you have in interconnects? They are going to be in they're not going to be more than $500 unless we get to the silver foils and stuff like that. But to start off, Oakland is scary. Shut up. Were you scared there? I was not scared there at all. I like a little grit. I like that, man. I'm like, hell yeah, I can be, a little bit of edge, a little bit of grit. San Francisco wasn't scary for me. Unless you get weirdos like staring you down, man. And they're like the guys on the street. Then you're like, okay, so these guys are running the street. And when they're eyeballing you, that gets a little weird. But all in all, I didn't have that, man. We were walking around in San Francisco, weren't scared. Walking around in Oakland, but we didn't go to the bad parts, Depends on where you go and why you're there, right? Lots of chill in the Oakland, but the BS moves around. All in all, you'll be good. Yeah, that's what I thought, man. The future is unsure. During the 2020 pandemic, listening to music saved my soul. Yeah, it saved our ass. I mean, anybody that was selling hi-fi took a huge boost. It boosted the industry for us. Hopefully our future does not include more pandemic BS. If so, I have the music. Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully we're good. Depends on where you go and why you're there. Lots of chill. Yep. So that when it comes to room treatment, is it worth hiring an expert or simple enough to figure? It's simple enough to figure yourself. You throw some bass traps in the corner. I mean, unless you have a really weird room, typical room, you just need to treat it a little bit, man. You don't need to go cuckoo. Some people spend $20,000, $30,000 making the room like a freaking recording studio. You're like, dude, it's not a recording studio. Why'd you hire the recording studio acoustician to come in and make your shit a recording studio? That's stupid. You know, it's like, it's just, it's not the same. In a recording studio, you don't listen to music the same way you do in a hi-fi system. In a recording studio, you're analyzing shit, you know? And you don't want reflection. You want it all freaking absorption. And you listen in the near field, you know? It's like, it's a different freaking idea. Hey, Mike, would your playback MPDA plus AGD Altogram Vivace be a sizable upgrade over a Daniel Hertz Maria 350, considering both setups with Fisher & Fisher SL370? I think the MPD8 plus. Okay, so the AGD Vivaces and stuff aren't that I don't think is a big upgrade over a Daniel Hertz Maria 350, but the playback MPD8 is a upgrade over the DAC that's on the Maria 350. To me, my separates sound better. Okay, but I may have the magical touch or thing. Daniel Hertz is very good. I do not think you would be upset with them. I have a Maria 350 here, by the way, if you want one, and I can sell it to you and take care of you. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Daniel Hertz is a good example of cutting chain link problems out. Yes, it is. You are correct, Mike. Some systems are too razor's edge. Some output tubes are like that as well, for sure. The 245 tubes play everything amazingly. Output but effortless detail is amazing. Yeah, what are 245s? Like 3 watts or something like that? That's the only drawback to those because it limits you on speakers. Mikey, give us the song list to expose. I know Duran Duran, Ordinary World will expose sibilance. What other will cover the spectrum? Audio Slave. And it's called I think it's called like is it like a highway? I'm drawing a blank. Like a stone. Like a stone. That's it. Like a stone. And on my deathbed. Yeah. Yep, that's it. By a freeway. That's the thing. I buy a freeway. What's the other one that I'm thinking of? Was okay. So Audio Slave, Like a Stone. Okay. Play that tune, man. And then turn it up. And then when that guitar comes in and he's screaming, see how edgy that is. Okay. It's an edgy sound, but it shouldn't drive you out of the room. It should sound like an edgy guitar. Like it should sound like rock guitar does, which is, it's aggressive, man, but it shouldn't run you out of the room. I am tribe person in OCD Deep Forest. What does that mean? Are you in the DMT forest? Hey, Mikey went to Florence and Tuscan Hills and gained about 15 pounds. Aha, you did too. Was great, like you said. Saw you had a room at Capitol Audio Fest. Yeah, buddy. Hoping Alex can see you about ham radio, Professor Jim. Oh, yeah, man. I have dropped that. I still want to get one, though. Okinawa, scuba. I'll bet, man. And sushi, brother. Just don't scuba dive in Fukushima. Yeah, we need silver. What the fuck are you trying to say? Need silver. Yes, you know it. When are the interconnects up? They're coming, man. I'm not giving a date. Okay, everybody. It's an hour and 30 minutes. I got to scram. It's time. I came in right off the plane, and now it's time for me to chill. So thanks, everybody, for joining. I will see your asses back here on Wednesday. So I can't even tell what freaking day it is. See you guys back here on Wednesday. Till then, don't go changing. See ya.